Hey, this is Mr. Beckstrom, and today I wanted to take a look at a sample problem from section 11.7. This is on graphing inequalities, and I have a set of inequalities here that I want to graph on there, and I'm also going to use my graphing calculator to help me with this as well. So the first thing I want to do is I want to take both of these equations and I want to put them in y-intercept form. It'll make it easier to put that in the calculator as well as graphing it. So the first equation, I should write a little number 1 here. We're going to have x plus 2y is greater than or equal to -1. Now, to get it into y-intercept form, we just need the y by itself on one side and everything else on the other side. So I'll start by subtracting the x from both sides. So it'll look like this. 2y is greater than or equal to -x minus 1. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to divide everything by 2. And so that's greater than or equal to, this is going to be -1/2 x. Because remember, that's just x over 2, which is the same as 1/2 minus 1/2. So this is what the first equation looks like. Now the second equation, we're going to do the same kind of thing with. So I'm going to have x plus 2y is greater than or equal to 3. So subtract x from both sides. We're going to have 2y is greater than or equal to -x plus 3. And then finally divide everything by 2. So we're going to have y is greater than or equal to -1/2 x, because that's the same thing as x over 2, plus 3 over 2. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is I want to put these into my graphic calculator, just kind of get an idea of what that's going to look like. So let me kind of put it here. So the first one is -1/2 x minus 1/2. And what I'm going to do here first is I am going to quit out of this. I'm going to hit my apps key. I'm going to go to where it says inequals, hit that, hit enter again, and this is going to be an app in our calculators that we can actually use to graph inequalities. So for this first one, it's going to be a greater than or equal to, so I'm going to go to the left, highlight it, hit enter. I'm going to keep it blue for my calculator. I'm going to change this to greater than or equal to, and hit OK. And so now I'm going to put this first equation is, we said that was -1/2 x minus 1/2. So -1/2, I'm going to put that in parentheses just to make sure my order of operations stays good. -1/2 x minus 1/2. So put it just like this. Now for the second equation here, that is going to be -1/2 x plus 3/2. And once again, I'm going to have to come over here, hit enter. I'm going to change that to greater than or equal to. Down here, oops, hit OK. And this one is going to be, both the parentheses, -1/2 times x plus 3 over 2. Alright, hit enter. So now it has both of these in my graph. Let's go ahead and do a zoom standard, see what this is going to look like. And you notice that these two lines are parallel, and that's because they have the same slope of -1/2. And it's everything above those lines. So when we look for a solution, we're only looking for the area that is shaded by both colors. And that's going to be this area here. This area here is only shaded with blue, and everything down here isn't shaded at all. So everything above this red line is going to be shaded by both blue and red. So that's going to be our solution. So try to kind of graph these by hand, and I don't have a good straight line tool, but doing this first one here, that's a -1/2. That's going to be my y-intercept. Let me do this one in red. So my y-intercept is going to be right here, and then I'm going to go up 1 and to the left 2, or down 1 and to the right 2, because it's a negative slope. So up 1 to the left 2. I've got a point like right here. Let me, oops, where is the size? Oh, there we go. Let's put a point here, put a point there. Down 1 to the right 2. So this thing is going to kind of look like this, more or less. And then the other one, which is parallel, has the y-intercept at 3/2, which is 1.5. So we're going to go to the blue one right here, and that's going to be right there. And it's just going to kind of be a parallel line there. And notice that both of these are greater than or equal to. So I'm going to kind of, that's a galaxy right there. So shade up here. And for my red, we're going to shade up here. It's not real pretty. That's why I did it on the calculator as well. But the solution set is everything above that galaxy line, that second equation there, because that's the area that's shaded by both. All right, if you have any questions, let me know, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.